With a new edition of 40k, it also means a new paint starter set, and boy are we gifted a lot this time. Not only the simple 3 sets of 3 marines, 3 orcs, and the whole main set that we'll be working with for this video, they also made whole sets of combat patrols with some paints specifically for those armies. But I am not talking about those, I am talking about the simple 13 paints plus tool set, and not even using the paints anymore, because they call it Warhammer now instead of Citadel, and I am not making Adarius go through all 171 Citadel graphics I had him make for me. So let's just do some converting to Army Painter, shall we? Oh, and also some others, but shush. What do I mean? Well, start with the 3 primaries of Avalon Sunset, Macragge Blue, and Mephiston Red, turning all 3 into Fiendish Yellow, Ultramarine Blue, and Pure Red. My red is from the British History set, hence why it's named different. White and black are different, as while Abaddon Black is an easy matte black, Corax White has a slight tint of yellow in it, so instead use some Brain Matter Beige. Back to some simplicity, as Mornfang Brown and Zenji Dust can easily convert to Leather Brown and Tomb King Tan. Wreck-Off Flesh doesn't really have a one-to-one match, but the closest will have to be Grey Castle. Maybe even add in a little bit of a peach colour if you feel like having it closer to the Rykar Flesh original. Orc Flesh is easier, but it does require some John Blanche paint, as Thicket Grove is real close to the original paint. Metallics are another simple one, as both Lead Belcher and Vegapure armour can be easily changed to Gunmetal and Greedy Gold. How greedy is that gold? Is he greedy enough to hoard dragons? Right, enough silly. The shade of Agrax Earthshade can easily be changed to the wash of Strong Tone. It's named different because of the same history set. Last paint to convert is some Armageddon Dunes. While Army Painter doesn't make any, AK Interactive's Wargames Diorama Dry Ground will work for this perfectly. Before we start painting though, prime the miniature of choice with some black. I have gone for Chaos Black because this was primed a long while back. Let's begin with some basing, shall we? Everything needed will be shown here. I will at least do a different one than last edition's set. So, gather everything and let's begin. Start with a 1-to-1 mix of pure red and matte black, going over all of the armor plating. See, I told you I can do Drukhari armor in different colors. Then just some pure red over the lenses. You can touch it back up if needed to in the layering steps. Onto the classic mix of ultramarine blue and matte black now, going over the leathery wings, weapon casings, and under armor of our Drukhari. And some ultramarine blue on its own to go over all of the feathers. Now onto the rest, starting with some leather brown. I only go over the belt here, but there are pouches and other bits. I just didn't add any to this one. After that, use some Fiendish Yellow over the little cloth areas, like the ribbon I am painting right now. Time for a make or break. Let's see if my prediction for Grey Castle over all the visible skin works. Huh. Guess it does. Now onto Tomb King Tan, going over all the bones and tactical rocks. Be sure to clean up any of the vials with matte black. The reason why is the final matte paint of the base step, Thicket Grove. Use this over all of the pipes and vials. If you want to, you can also make the vials halfway empty, hence why the matte black. Metallics now, starting with gunmetal, going over all of the blades, vial lids, and even the face mask. And finally, finish the base set with some greedy gold, going over any little trinkets or trims of your choice on the model. Then clean up the water pot and get ready to do some shading. yeah, I've been doing things differently this time around. I've, decided to record the step and then edit that to the next step on my video, and then the next day, same step. Today's just like one single paint. Yeah, that's it. Shading is as simple as applying strong tone over the entire model. That's it. That's the step. Wait, what do you mean that's a step? That's insane! There should be more to it. I mean, yeah, the video is almost 6 minutes long already, but still! I'll try something. How about that gameplay from me and Cookie? On to layering now. Now, instead of black paint or no extra paint, you're now replacing it with white or just no paint. Yeah, that's literally all that's changed for the highlighting. That's all. Let's continue, shall we? We begin with some pure red over the edges of the red armour, as well as freehanding the silly little worm over one of the wings. Add in some bone marrow beige to the red to quickly dot in the eyes. Now for some ultramarine blue, going over all of the dark blue areas on the model. After that, lighten up with some bone marrow beige to add in the highlights for the feathers and hair. From now on, all of the paints will be adding grey matter beige over all of them, starting with leather brown over all of the edges of the leather areas. That little area of yellow of course needs a brighter yellow, so do it. Back to the larger areas now, such as grey castle with grey matter beige, edged over all of the skin areas. Onto the rocks and bones with the mix of Tomb King Tan and the beige, being applied like everything else, an edge. The ride will never end. 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 Sorry, I seem to have blacked out for a moment there. Where was I? Oh, yeah, start my attacks with some gunmetal, mixed in with our beige, to make a highlight for all the steel. My gold highlight mix didn't work too well for greedy gold and the beige. Next time I do have another go at it, I will have a look at where I went wrong. Probably a bit too much of the beige. But at least you can wash out your water pot and get ready to base. Finally, we can move on to the base. Aside from the usual style of texture paste, shade, then dry brush, I have another thing to work for this, so yeah, let's finish this, shall we? Basing begins with some dry ground, going over all of the empty base space for the model that isn't the rim. Once it's dried, use some strong tone over all of the sand on that base, then leave it to dry. I swear this is the last time you see Brain Marrow Beige mixed with anything for the video, but use it with some Tomb King Tan as a dry brush over all the sand, picking out the raised areas. Sorry about autofocus deciding not to aim at the base, but heavily water down some thicket grove and make a trail of green, starting from the vials all the way to the ground, and just like pulling. Finally, add some matte black to the base rim and you can finally start painting then. as the model is finished. And there you have it. Thank you for watching. If you love what I do and want to see more, subscribing, commenting and liking is great and free. But if you have any ideas that you want to see, go have a look in the description. I have a form you could fill out if you want to see any models you'd like to see me paint, and how. See you next time.